Hello, my name is Mnaishim Dam or Mnadam. I'm super excited to join and indicate my interest to join the SNF project for communicators, global communicators, and I'm a journalist, a broadcast journalist with Benue Television. Currently, I'm in a Benue Television studio here doing the video. And my 2-year plan for SNF project is focused on teenage pregnancies with a broader perspective of how insecurity and displacement expose girls and women to trauma and pregnancies in Benue State amid high-level poverty. On a general note, it is important to know that Nigeria at this current time faces a lot of insecurity, and Benue State is not left out at all where I live. In fact, Benue State is one of the most hit states in northern Nigeria, with the current yellow water attacks leaving many displaced, wounded, and in a traumatic state. With this, many are forced to take shelter in the internally displaced camps, that is the IDP camps, and these camps houses thousands, including women, youth, and children. There are mostly youth and children over there, and the camps are filled with mostly women, teenage girls, and children, and most of them, the men were killed during the attacks, while others left their families because of the high level of poverty. It is also important to know here that most killings were carried out by burning the victims to death, slaughtering, raping them to death, chopping off their heads, and stripping off pregnant women's bellies. The survivors, even though alive, are left traumatized and psychologically down. So the goal for this project is to reduce stigma, trauma, and pregnancy outcomes for displaced teenage females living in IDPs in Benue communities. The truth is, most of them are traumatized and they are vulnerable at this point, and many men are taking advantage of them. They have no alternatives, so it's a way of survival, and their outcome is a lot of pregnancies, teenage pregnancies with high level poverty. The objective for this is to produce high quality media content reaching over 12.5 million people in Nigeria and beyond with evidence. The content will be broadcasted on Benue Television, where it's currently on a global map. We cover most of the African countries. We are on Star Times, we are on Arab Satellite, and then we are on Facebook on free to air that covers the 23 local government of the state and covering Nigeria on Star Times. So the project is going to partner at least 5 Nigerian based organizations where we organize trauma healing workshops, we organize outreaches, we organize some exercises that will bring children, the teenage girls together, and women. So basically, the organizations of these outreaches are focused on the content to get a first-hand information from the women, from the teenage girls, and the children for the quality production. So this exercise will help in providing the access to that first-hand narratives of the experiences of the IDPs in those camps across the state for quality content and policy influences. And also, as part of the communication and advocacy for the project, the findings of the project will be submitted to Benue State Emergency Management Agency, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, and to create more awareness to influence policies that will provide mental health initiatives for children and teenage girls across the campus at the IDP camps in the state. That is because most of these agencies provide relief materials, that is the food and not food items, ignoring the other aspects of traumatization and mental health. So sensitizing them or working in collaboration with them will help go a long way to them moving away from us, focusing mainly on those physical items to providing mental health policies that will safeguard the girls and the children. So the expected outcome for this project is to increase public awareness of mental health impacts on security and increasement on teenage girls. The goal is content driven. Every interview, every encounter with the camp teenage girls will be filmed in non-offensive way or in non-offensive manner, and will be turned into TV documentaries, radio commentaries, and the focus is on teenage girls sharing how insecurity, displacement leads to the multiple pregnancies among the women and how it affects their mental health. So the content is to be packaged to reduce stigma and effect trauma healing. So the camp with workshops and all that will be focused on that healing trauma, and the project will work in collaboration with other partners for the trauma coping skills and healing resources, stress management, peer support and healings, seeking which are basic psychological first aids. The primary audience will be the teenage girls, the children, parents, women, and guardians in general. And the secondary audience are the policy makers, the mental health experts, and the platforms where all these informations will be disseminated will be first on Benue Television, where I'm currently working as a news reporter, a producer, and an anchor. It will also be broadcasted on our radio stations, Instagram, my personal Instagram page, Facebook, LinkedIn, and my YouTube channel. So I will also be working in partnership with some other organizations. So the output will be documentaries, not less than 2 documentaries will be produced. News stories will be produced on these topics, articles and workshops for the trauma healing and mental health. The relationship between this project and Benue Television is that Benue Television is a state-owned television that is already working on such content. So the mandate of Benue Television is to tell the Benue stories and to produce content that are of interest of what is happening around Benue State. So this content will be one of those that will be of great interest to the station. So Benue Television already covers the 36 states, like I said earlier, in Nigeria through free-to-air decoder, and SatTime is also on Arab satellite, covering most African countries and Arab nations. And this is because this issue of insecurity is not only affecting Benue State, where I live now, it's affecting Nigeria. If you go to northern Nigeria and other parts of Nigeria, other parts of African countries, this same issue, they are facing it. It's not only here that we have this IDP camp. So broadcasting it to reach those people will go a long way to reach out to a wider audience, and it will be of great benefit to them. So the funding can be used for quality content production, personnel, media equipment, or at a rental level. We rent all the equipment and then travel for outreaches and mentorship training as a fellow. And I will involve teenage girls, women and youth in general through interviews and other engagement. So that is how it's going to be packaged, and I believe it's going to be interesting, and I'm happy, I'm excited to work with you, and I pray that this goes a long way for us to work together. Thank you. I am Naishundam Nadam, aka thank you.